My dad's a real estate broker. He's a very successful real estate broker. He was working since like the late 80s in Manhattan, and he has a bunch of like rich friends. Like he's not rich, but he has like Donald Trump Jr.'s phone number in his phone. Like he's obviously not like a Trump supporter, but he knows a lot of people. I know there's real estate conventions, and he met, I think probably like in the late 90s, he met Donald Trump.
Hey guys, Jack and Elijah here. Come back at you with another podcast. Podcast number 3. Elijah, do you want to take it off with the fact of the day?
So the fact of the day that I came up with, took me hours to come up with, is that North Korea and Cuba are the only places in the world that you cannot buy a Coca-Cola. I know it will help each and every one of you in life who will be subscribing and liking our video and turning your bell on in order to receive all notifications based on when our new videos come out.
And in the description, we're going to put our email. So just email us if you want to be on a podcast and say like what you want to talk about, something like that. Now into the podcast. Today, we have an amazing guest named Aaron Solars. He goes to our school, and he lives in Torrington, and he used to live in Manhattan. We're going to talk about that a bit.
Hey, there we go. Unmute. We're
Aaron
good.
Solars, what's up? How's it going? How's it going?
I know you're asking the viewers right now. I'm doing good, thank you.
Good.
Nice day outside.
It's a lovely day. Yeah, that's why I'm outside. I'm actually currently in Costa Rica right now, enjoying the nice weather.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
You're stuck in Costa Rica.
I'm stuck in Costa Rica for the past.
Wait. Are you actually in Costa Rica?
No, I'm not in Costa Rica. I'm still in the United States. Yeah.
Definitely in the video. Okay.
All right.
Jack, you want to start off with a question?
Yeah.
So just talk about the correlation.
You grew up in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're in Torrington. So
I'm in Connecticut.
Yeah, and you go to our school now, which is great.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how life in Manhattan was? Because I did grow up in Manhattan, but I moved when I was 7. So when did you move from Manhattan, and how?
Actually, I didn't I moved from Manhattan. I was born originally Upper West Side, 2004. And then when I was about 8 or 9, my parents got divorced, so I moved to Queens. I lived in LIC, I lived in Rockaway. So I really moved around. And my dad actually had a home in Brooklyn. So I didn't really leave Manhattan. That was when I was younger, but I was in Queens.
Okay. So what's life like in the city?
The city was great. It's everything that you wanted would be at your disposal. If you want Korean food or something, I don't even know what you guys want to even hear, but it's definitely the greatest place on earth, for sure. I remember from my dad's house in Carroll Gardens going to Rockaway, because my school was in Rockaway. I went to a school called Scholars Academy. And for people who are not from New York, Rockaway is a peninsula in Queens. And it's Rockaway Beach, Far Rockaway. And I would take an hour and a half subway ride every day. I would go the F train, transfer J Street Metro Tech to the A train, and take that all the way to Broad Channel, and then do the S train. I would do that every single day for years. And it was when you first started, I started taking the subway by myself when I was in 5th grade. And it's just tiring. It's just so boring being in a subway car. Usually you're cut off from, your phone. There's no connection to tunnels. So you just wait out and do nothing. Also, after school every day, we wouldn't go straight home. You'd go to a bodega, or you'd go to a grocery store and you get something. Near my high school, near my middle school, there was a deli, and I'd always get a bacon, egg, and cheese in Arizona every day after school. And I was probably way less healthy than I am now. They have chips every single day. So,
So
You guys like go straight home? What's that?
Repeat what you're gonna say.
What? I wasn't saying. I was asking. You guys just go straight home after school?
Depending on extracurricular activities or stuff, but most of the time we do go home. We just go on the bus. I mean, like it's like a 5-minute ride for both of us. It's nothing.
Yeah, in middle school, I would be at the mall until like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. I used to go to King's Plaza, and there's like, unlike in the other parts of the United States, there's like malls. They're close to you. You can actually take a subway or bus there, and you can actually easily go. Just like a 40-minute bus ride from my school to a mall in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I feel like it's nice and also not. Like it's nice because you have like your own time to like focus or like to wake up in the morning or to just transition back home at night. So it's like nice in that respect. But I feel like also like it's a little annoying if you want to get home, you want to like start homework or start dinner or work out or do something else. Like you couldn't do it.
I would always do homework like 10 o'clock at night. I was not a good student in middle school. I know, like, the funny thing, I would always go to the mall every single day almost. I would never get anything. I just go into a store, like, browse, and just, like, leave. I was with my friends about it. I'm not a weirdo. I was, like, with people. I wasn't, like, just going there by myself to look at clothing. That's not me.
Yeah, so I remember when I used to, like, go visit New York City after I moved out, right? It was like so exciting. Oh, we're riding the subway. It's so cool. But if you do it every day, I guess it kind of gets boring,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually just like listen to like music that I could. It's always like cut out, so I'd have to like listen to the same song over and over again because
what if you downloaded music on Spotify?
I didn't download music. I didn't pay for Spotify. I didn't have like anything like that. That was like cheap.
The urban boys over here from New York City.
Elijah, you're from Connecticut, born and raised, right?
No, I'm actually from New Jersey, but I moved out really young. But I'm mostly from Connecticut. I'm from New Jersey, but not really. And the New Jersey parts, it's not the big city parts.
Yeah, we're in New Jersey.
Marlboro.
My mom's actually from New Brunswick.
Yeah,
I can't pronounce it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember anything. I was really young when I moved here.
So Aaron, is this the first time going to a private school?
Oh, it's weird. I used to go to a school with like hundreds of kids.
Okay, that is into my last question. So it's your first one, right? HHV. Okay.
Yeah, my first private school. Yeah, I would always go to a public school since I was like. I mean, I used to go to like a private preschool before they had preschool for all in New York, but most of my life I was in a public school.
Okay, so what is different about public and private school?
I can't really. I'm gonna answer. It's not like a fair question for me. I wasn't in a public high school, and I'm going to a private. Because like high schools and middle schools are always different. And I actually don't know what it's like in a public high school really, because I never went to one. So, I mean, one thing for sure, in our school, we only have a couple kids in each class. In every class of my classes, I went to like a cohort C in my school, so I have 2 teachers. I used to have 33 kids in each class. And I think there was like 70 kids in every gym class. Like our gyms were like packed with kids, like sardines. And what we do is, I know we don't have gym at school, but in public schools, what they do is they put iPads in the walls, and we basically do like stretching for 30 minutes. Like it's not the same as like in a private school. Because if you guys just play basketball in gym, like we actually like there would be different like I don't know, like different units. Like we have the basketball unit and we had like volleyball unit, but like most of the time we just did the exercises.
Yeah, we in elementary school and middle school, me and Elijah both had gym class with an amazing gym teacher, Mr. W.
I'm actually trying to convince him now to hopefully take up the high school gym class maybe next year. I'm trying to convince him.
Yeah. So we would do like different activities every day, different games. Like don't touch the floor, interval training. kickball, a whole variety of stuff. And yeah, but we only had it would be like 20 people, maybe 25, right?
Well, it was like 2-3 days a week, and at the end they used to combine so many grades. It was like fourth, fifth, and sixth graders all together for a gym class. So it was like 15, 20 people, and then like it was fun, but it's just like you can't have people in those grades going against people so much higher. It like doesn't work. But it was still fun.
Imagine a little first grader versus like a fourth grader. Wow.
There's like a 70% chance I used to beat that fourth grader if I was in the first grade. So, hey, we have to bring our dog now? I'm going to bring my dog.
Nah, he's being bad right now. His name is Paulie from Sopranos. Like, we named him after, like, Paulie and Sopranos. Like, you see the white hair he has on top. It's like, Paulie from, you guys know the show. I remember I would like a lot in middle school. Like, you guys don't have like any like big water sources in Connecticut, right? Like where you guys live? Like
we have the Connecticut River.
Ocean.
We have Connecticut River, Farmington River.
Yeah, I used to live right next. I used to live in middle school like, right next to the beach.
Oh,
like,
nice.
Boardwalk. And we used to have a boardwalk before Sandy. Like Hurricane Sandy was like, pretty bad, destroyed the entire boardwalk. It like submerged like Rockaway and like Broad Channel. But after a couple of years, they rebuilt like this concrete boardwalk that goes all the way to 125th to I don't even know where it ends. It just goes all the way down the peninsula. And I would go there a lot. Actually, it's really nice. If anyone from Connecticut is visiting like New York City, you should go to Rockaway. We have concession stands in the summer on the boardwalk. We had it's funny enough, they actually had Bolivian food on one of the concessions, and I'm actually half my mother's from Bolivia. That's pretty cool. They have like empanadas, have I honestly forgot what else. I only order empanadas there, but it was like it was really nice.
Okay. Speaking of concession stands, in Manhattan, how they have those like roasted nuts? They are so good.
I never mess with those.
Never had that?
I don't want to get food poisoning. I always see those carts. One time I was in Central Park, there was like, I don't know why no one knows, there's like a bunch of bees all over the concession stand. Like, they hang out with the nuts. I'm not eating that stuff. It's actually, sometimes I do eat it when my cousins from Washington visit. They like to get those food. I just get it because they're getting it. But like, other than that, I don't really mess with concession. I do mess with they have shawarma on the street. Like, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, it's like delicious. They basically like just order it for like $5. And you have like lamb over like rice usually and like salad. They're good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't go to New York City very often, but when we do go, it's always nice to have like a nice kosher restaurant that actually has good food and stuff.
Yeah.
And in New York.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, best food in the world, yeah. And like,
sure.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's like, it's definitely better. It definitely beats Connecticut food.
No, definitely. But I don't know. Israeli food is pretty damn good. I gotta admit.
Yeah, like the kosher market isn't that bad though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's funny. You guys only have one, but in New York City we have like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you guys been to Cat Deli before.
Yeah, I've been a couple times.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories? Just any funny stories that you'd like to share on this podcast?
I don't know. I know I know one of my first there's a mall called King's Plaza in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, there's a fish store like next to it. So after hanging out, me and my friends, probably 8:00 at night, we went to the fish store and we picked out like a 5. Like we went in, right, and they were selling like fish for 5 cents each, like crazy low price. I know, and as a Jew, I get excited for that. It's like a good deal. So we buy like a fish, and like we name it Mr. Franklin. We're like taking it around, and then we want to release it into like the harbor. Like basically, we have like it's like I don't know, like almost like a canal that goes into Jamaica Bay. So we had my fucking dog. I'm sorry, guys. And we tossed like the fish. Remember Finding Nemo, like the last scene with the fish inside of like the bags. And
we'll go, sure, yeah.
We tossed the fish, and the thing we forgot to take it out of the bag. So now there's a fish floating like on the canal in a bag. So we started like pulling rocks at it, and it popped, and then we saw the fish get free. So we basically like saved the fish's life. So, you know, I'm a humanitarian, not like an animal rights activist. Like it felt really good.
Yeah.
We have a couple stories that we want to talk about specifically that we know of.
Okay.
We talk about the story on Perm when you came in and you didn't remember that we had you dressed up on Perm and then you came in a tank top.
Oh, I didn't know there was like a porn for people not Jewish watching this. It's a Jewish holiday where we and basically a Jewish Halloween. We all dress up in these costumes. And I came in, everyone was like wearing a costume, and I was like left out. I didn't realize that like to that day it was porn. So I took off my shirt and I had like my guinea tea like underneath. So I was just like, for the rest of the day, I was just guinea tea man. That was my costume. I just felt left out. I didn't really feel like I was like, you know, participating in the Jewish holiday. I'm not, you know, actually it's kind of interesting. I was a Reformed Jew like my entire life. And then I go to this like modern Orthodox school. And there's all these customs that I have like no idea about. It's a little embarrassing, but then again, like I have an excuse. I didn't really I went to temple like twice a day. I mean, not twice a day, that'd be way too much, like twice a week. I go to Hebrew school, but like it was really interesting being submerged in a culture that I didn't know anything about. But like you call yourself that, so it was like cool.
Yeah. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you don't know it. There's a lot of people that don't know stuff. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. Just Noah's reaction after davening of you just taking your tank top off.
So at NCSY, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's like a Jewish convention over a weekend. So in a hotel room, you want to tell the cup story?
I wasn't there for that one.
Oh, like, it's not a biggie. It's just like we had a bunch of glass cups in the hotel room, and my problem with it is like we can't tell. They're all like, you know, they're all the same. We can't tell who's who. So I took out a Sharpie and I wrote my name on it, so I would remember. And apparently that was a big deal for people. It wasn't a biggie. It was just
you have a glass cup that a hotel owns.
No, apparently it was a big deal, Jack. Apparently it was a big deal.
A Jewish star.
Yeah.
Great.
I might as well decorate it, you know, a little bit. I'm not giving my name. It's kind of boring. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, now forever they're gonna have Aaron Star on that cup.
Did you get it off?
I did. You know what? Eventually I did get it off. It took a lot of elbow grease, but I scrubbed it off with a towel, and the towel actually got black ink all over it. But it was they can wash the towel. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. You have this sort of confidence about you that you just go up to random people and start
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, but you also like, I don't know. You want to kind of explain what you did?
All right. Sure. Yeah. It's I don't have a system or anything. It's just me. I probably developed it in like early 8th grade. It's just nice dog. What type of dog is that?
This is a mini golden doodle. Ruby, say hi.
Is he sleeping?
Anyways, how I talk up to random people like that, it just like you can't care. You can't care what people think. Because one thing, maybe this is different in New York City. You ever watch any like YouTube channels on people in New York? They like to do pranks because there's so many people in New York. The possibility of seeing someone twice is like almost impossible. So the way I see it is like if I talk to this person now, like they're like, why would it matter? Because I'm never gonna see them again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And actually, there was one time where I talked to someone and I saw like her again. There was like a cute girl on a subway cart, and I wanted to like get her like information, right? And it's weird, right? She I was talking to her right on the off the subway, just walking together. Because actually, I was too shy to talk to her the entire subway ride, right? And then we happened to get off at the same stop. So I go up to her and hey, you're really cute, have your information. And we're talking, right? And then she just goes away, right? She didn't tell me this, but I messaged her later, oh, by the way, I have a boyfriend, some BS. But then again, literally months later, I went to there's a neighborhood called Georgetown, which is near Bergen Beach, and every year in this part of Brooklyn, they have a festival. So they have rides, they have games and drinks. It's really cool, and it's on one street. I forgot what the street's called, but it's really fun. They have lemonade and stuff. And it's funny. I was hanging with my friend Johnny, and I go there, right? And I see the girl, and she's from I think she was from Windsor Terrace, and it's almost the complete opposite side of Brooklyn. So the likeliness of her being there is so random. And I go up to her and I say, oh, hey, you remember me? And it's hey, I'm busy right now. Can you talk to me later? And she was so rude, a totally different person. She's with a friend. I was oh, okay. Bye. I don't know what that was, but yeah, that was something that happened,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you talk about the spray painting of your hair?
I don't know. And then he can, I don't know, because he also. So, we had the lock-in our school, which basically means that we're all gonna sleep in our school because we don't have a lot of people in our school.
Totally not. Yeah, that was just a private school thing. Maybe other private schools they have that, but it was just it was almost like a sleepover at school, and we had events and stuff. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to get silver hairspray, right? And we did the theme as superhero or just fancy, right? So I picked superhero. I wanted to be Mr. Fantastic. So he has these gray patches in his hair that go around, right? So I got a silver can and just spray paint. I had someone spray paint my hair. Yeah, and Aaron did it too.
Yeah, and that was a little story, right? I just spray painted my hair silver. I remember when I went to sleep that night in the sleeping bag, I woke up, there's silver all over my sleeping bag. I was why did I do this? I already regretted it. I remember 30 minutes after I spray painted my hair, I was I gotta get this stuff out. I go to the bathroom, I try my best to wash it out of my hair. It didn't work. It was just still there. And I woke up and there was silver all over my sleeping bag, and I was oh my God. Really, Jack?
Yes, when I did it, the silver started dripping down my face, so I had silver here.
Yeah, I remember that.
What are some good places in the city or New York to visit?
Yeah, no, I'd love to answer that. I'm gonna just start I'm gonna go by each borough. So when you're driving from up north to New York, you first hit Manhattan. I'm pretty sure. Am I right?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, I think so. I don't drive, but a good place to be. I love the Central Park West is nice, really pretty, lovely architecture, and I know the Upper East Side's also cool. I got this shirt at a vintage shop there. I got this hat from a place going out of business. There's a lot of good places to shop there. Really and it's not that bad. The prices they're probably this shirt was only $15. It was fine, but actually, I have a story about the Upper East Side. We were hanging out in Manhattan, right? What we usually do is we take there's a ferry that goes to Rockaway to Manhattan to Wall Street. So we take it there and we usually walk up. And we're walking on the East Side. And it was probably 9 o'clock at night. And we wanted to get something to eat, right? So we got separated. And me and my friend Johnny went somewhere else. And then my friends went to a 7-Eleven. And then me and Johnny wanted to scare them outside the 7-Eleven. So we go hide behind a pillar outside the 7-Eleven, and then 2 cops come and walk up to us and oh, is everything okay? They thought we were rob the 7-Eleven. And no, everything's fine. And I think they realized that we're just kids, not crackheads. So they leave us alone, right? And then we all my friends saw the cop. The friends inside the 7-Eleven saw us talking to the cops. So they went out and then they vouched for us, and then we walked away. And then literally 7 like cop cars, like with the sirens, like swarm this 7-Eleven, and they go in and they grab this guy, like he's like moving around, shaking, trying to get free. It was some like crackhead with a trench coat and long hair, and they arrested him. There was a guy selling heroin inside the 7-Eleven my friends went to, and we were so like, what the hell was that? And then a bunch of the guy's friends who he would sell heroin to, they walked, and they were like all at the scene. They're like, well, they shouldn't arrest that guy, man. They shouldn't arrest him. They're all like upset. Their friend got arrested. And I talked to one, like, oh, yo, what happened? He was like, oh, apparently he was like slinging dope, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe, like, it was a crazy guy. Basically, there was like a heroin bust in the 7-Eleven we're just in. And there was a bunch of cops there, right? And then my friends took a picture of what's up?
I asked you, where do you recommend going?
7-Eleven.
It's one of the recommendations.
Your answer is 7-Eleven with cops.
If you want to see a drug bust, go to 7-Eleven for sure.
All right.
Got it. That's on me and Jack's bucket list now.
No, anyways, one of my friends took a picture of all the cop cars and it said "Free Aaron," and then it was circulating. People put it on their Snapchat, and people thought I went to jail. And they faked like me getting it. It was really funny. That was a fun night. I forgot when that was, but it was good. Anyways, my dog is. Hey.
I remember when I was in. Visited back to New York.
Mm-hmm.
So prices for everyday foods are different, right? I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but a pack of cheese sticks, that'd be like $3. I remember going into I don't remember the store, but it was like across the street from my apartment, right? We're inside the store, me and my family, right? And there's a pack of cheese sticks. It's like $7. And it's like
no, it's insane. A lot of people in Manhattan are very wealthy, so they like bullshit prices all the time. I remember I was really hungry one time, and I was trying to find Chipotle, and I couldn't find it. So I had to go to the expensive. I was in the crave for Mexican, right? So I went to a burrito place. It was a burrito like this big for like $17. And I was eating it, and I was like so hungry, but I was like so sad eating it. So I felt like I was like, ripped off so much. And I walk out. This is true. I walk out of the restaurant, right, and right around the corner where I didn't look is Chipotle, where they sell like things like they tacos for $1, and it was just the biggest rip off of my life. Like it's not good, the prices.
Yeah, like why do I have to pay like double the price for like a cheese? It's a cheese stick. Like who's gonna?
Yeah, no, there's some stores in like the other boroughs, right? They would sell like things on discount. Like you can get like ground beef for like 50 cents. I saw it once, and I was like, I'm not gonna eat that ground beef, but like, it's pretty cheap. It's like a good. I forgot how many ounces it was, but like Manhattan's definitely overpriced, for sure.
I mean, living in a place that has so many people, it is expensive there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not enough real estate for people.
Yeah, I remember going to a really, really rural place, and there was like one cafe in the whole town, and it was like people who live there for like their whole lives, and it's just like, here's like a double hamburger or like veggie burger or something. It's like $2. Just like it's so cheap. So like, and some places are very expensive, some places aren't.
I know what people would like. In New York City, we have very good all the food, right? There's some places actually in Queens where they have really good Chinese food. Like I would get like a whole thing of like steamed dumplings for like $2. It's like great prices. But there's a lot of good Israeli food for anyone who likes that stuff. Like really good in Manhattan. Like on the Upper West Side, there's this vegetarian Israeli place. I forget the names of these places, but it's actually like it's a really, really good like food. If you guys want to get do that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So it's also the question, like, for real estate, would you rather have a much bigger house for the same price as a really small apartment, but you get to live in this environment where everyone is like working their ass off, and you can make a lot of money in New York because you do have a lot of people that you can sell to, and you can
Yeah, but at the same time, like a $2 million apartment could be like
Yeah,
very
it,
small.
it could be like half of a house here. Could be $2 million. Well, here it's like
Yeah.
a lot less.
What is it called? This is actually good to bring up. My dad's a real estate broker. He's a very successful real estate broker. He was working since like the late '80s in Manhattan, and he has a bunch of like rich friends. Like he's not rich, but he has like Donald Trump Jr.'s phone number in his phone. Like he's obviously not like a Trump supporter, but he knows a lot of people. I know there's real estate conventions, and he met, I think, probably like in the late '90s. He met Donald Trump, which is kind of crazy. Before he was like Stalin. But anyways, I don't want to get too political, but yeah, no. The reason why New York City is so like it's so desirable, even though it seems overpriced. These small one-bedroom studio apartments it could sell for even $1 million, like multi-million dollars in some neighborhoods in Manhattan, but you have literally every single thing at your disposal. You have tons of places to go shopping, tons of places to go food. You have every single like food under the in Earth.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's so
But
desirable.
because the diversity and the population, it's very expensive.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there's a certain hustle to living in the city.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like if you have like a high up job, if you're like a lawyer or a doctor or something, like you're more desirable in a place that doesn't have so many people. So if you're farther away from the city, like that's part of the reason why my dad moved from New Jersey because he was just like another doctor. So
Yeah.
that's why he moved to Connecticut. It was like more like, oh wow, this is his expertise or
And
speciality.
also for especially West Hartford, people, okay, older people who want to live longer, they will pay whatever they have to in order to get medical care and all of that. And West Hartford has a very large older population, so it's a thriving place for doctors. Yeah,
No, but New York City is a place for doctors. Like literally millions of people in New York.
Yeah, so I mean, in New York City, it's really because it's like the population. It's like a lot of doctors don't only deal with older people. It's like if it's a family doctor or just a physician, like we still go to doctors and we're not old and we don't have any
The
problems
thing
and
is,
stuff.
it's great being rich in New York City for being like poor and like bro, like not having a lot of money in New York City. It's awful. You live in these like, it's really hard. A lot of places the rents are really high. It's basically the greatest city on earth, but not for people without money. Like, the reason why I moved to Connecticut, right, is because I had no money living in Rockaway anymore. That's it. I did not. We couldn't afford it anymore, so we had to move somewhere with a lot of space where everything's cheaper. Like you guys don't know, but like it's one thing like that's food's expensive. Imagine every single thing that you have to get in your life is expensive. Like food, clothing, shelter. In New York City, it's like off the charts. I think it's one of the most expensive places in the world, other than like I think like United Emirates, Hong Kong. Like those cities are more because their area is smaller, but still it's crazy competition in New York City.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let me get to Brooklyn right now, like on where to visit in New York City. There's a neighborhood called Greenpoint, Williamsburg. That area, it's so fun. There's a bunch of art in Gowanus, which is a neighborhood with actually the most polluted canal in America is in Gowanus, and it's almost like because back in the like during the Industrial Revolution, they would put a bunch of like byproduct chemicals into this canal. So it's very, but anyways, because the polluted canal, all the rent is very cheap in the area. So there's a lot of like art studios there. And every year during the summer, I mean, obviously not this summer, there's an art festival in Gowanus. And it's like some of the coolest underground art you'll ever see. It's really nice. And also Sheepshead Bay, I love going to. There's a place called Roan Roaster, which is a restaurant with like, roast beef with cheese. Like, it's not kosher, obviously, but like pizzas and stuff. Some of the best food. I mean, it was some of the best roast beef I ever had. I know it's like really greasy food, but it's good. And Sheepshead Bay has a bunch of restaurants on the water, and there's a bunch of fishing boats that you can charter. It's just like, it's, I think every borough it has like, something special about it that's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, one more story, right?
Oh, sure. Nah, yeah, sure. I'll go to like Queens. Like Rockaway is definitely really fun to go to. I used to live in a neighborhood called LIC, and it's just very nice residential apartments on the East River. And now I have one story where me and my friends, what my friends usually do, and they call me because they don't hang out a lot. Uh, they will go into like a very expensive apartment building, and they'll say to the people, "Okay, my friend's waiting on me. Can I go up?" And the guys say, "Okay, what's the person's phone number who lives in this?" In New York City, there's these apartment buildings and condos, and they have security guards in the front, and you can't go into the building unless you live there. And my friends would call me on the phone, and they say, "Okay, we're waiting for my friend Charlie Bowser is waiting for me." And the guy calls me, I pick up, and I say, "Hey, I'm Charlie Bowser, let them up." So my friends would go to these penthouses, like, down in trouble. And actually, one time I was with them, and there was a really nice apartment I see, and we did the same trick. And the guy let us up, and we went like on the top floor of this like beautiful building, and it's like we see the entire Manhattan skyline from this thing. You usually have to pay for observatories in these tall buildings, but we went on for free. And it was beautiful. And I had a lime with me, like a lemon, like a citrus fruit, right? And I threw it off of the building, and it went on top of another roof of the building, and we saw it just like roll. I was expecting like more of an explosion, but yeah.
Yeah, funny story. We I don't go to the city very often. I don't like it very much. But we went one time and it was like for my uncle's like 50th birthday or something. It was during one I think it was during that last NCSY regional I couldn't go to. And anyhow, so my uncle came from Chicago and he was renting this hotel room and I forgot what it's called. It's like a famous hotel, but it was so high up. And we went in there and it's like all glass and stuff, and then you look over and you can see like everything. It was crazy. So like Central Park, Yankee Stadium, you saw like everything. It was really cool. And then at the bottom in the lobby, it was like really nice. We saw Kiss. You know who Kiss is? He's a rock and roll artist in like the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we saw him. He's a lot older now, but it was really cool. My mom was like, I want a picture with him and stuff. It was kind of funny. But yeah, it's really part of New York. It's really nice, especially the city.
Anyways, I only tell one more. I know Jack wanted me to tell a different story today. I was not sure of telling it, and this might not even make cut, But in my old neighborhood of Rockaway, right? There's these residential buildings like all along the peninsula, right? And we were just hanging out in them. And this day, I got there was a store like a Dollar Tree, and they were selling like really big, like 2-liter bottle of Sprites for like $1, and I bought one. And I drank the entire thing. And we went to McDonald's, and I had like 3 Big Macs, right? And it was after that, it was a mistake. First of all, having like Big Macs and Sprite together, it was just like an awful combination to begin with. But a bunch of Big Macs, a bunch of Sprite, I got like the worst stomach pain in my life. I felt like I was gonna die. I was like bending over. I was like, oh my god, I had to go. And I was when we were walking, I kept like stopping and going to the floor. Like I was like crouching on the floor, like, okay, God, I don't want to shit myself. And we're trying to find a public bathroom. It's probably like 10 o'clock at night. We can't find anywhere that was open, that was public. So I'm about to like shit my brains out. I can't find a place. So we go up into one of the buildings, and I knock on the door, and then like an old woman like answers it, right? And she's she's probably like 9 years old, and she's like, hello, and she's like really nice, and I'm like, can I please take a shit in your house? And she's like, yeah, go right ahead. She was such a darling. She let me, and I went to the restroom, and it was just like I don't know. It was just on the toilet. There was like I don't know how to describe it. Like almost like a high chair. Like it was on that, and it was just like an old woman's bathroom. So I went out and I had to go into a laundromat bathroom after. Like it was just like I had to go probably like 4 different times. It was just like it was an adventure. It was.
They saved your life.
She was very nice though. Yeah. I was telling my friends this. I want to go back to her house and give her $100. She's like, no one else would ever say, okay, yeah, come in. But she was so nice. I want to give her like some money or like a birthday present. I don't even know. But she was so nice.
That is the story.
That is the story, yeah. Well, I got to get my dog real quick, just cut.
Aaron Solars, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
It was a pleasure. I hope to be a guest one day again in many years. That'll be the dream.
Hopefully a couple months.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for sharing some interesting stories, to say the least.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about New York.
We should actually just like call like this, not even be a podcast. We should talk more probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. This is usually the part where the podcast they promote something. I have nothing to promote. So yeah. Just watch this video, I guess. If you got here so far, you did. So, yeah, thank you guys.
So far, you're in our hearts.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
See you, Aaron.
Bye.
Thank you.
Cut.
Like and subscribe to our new channel. If you want to be featured in any of our videos, you can either leave a comment down below, or we will have our email in the description. Make sure to leave notifications on so you can be notified on our new videos, and have a good day.